state agencies. This is the next gear in our engine. And again, for some of you, state agencies are going to be larger or smaller than for others. So I want to walk you through really quick kind of an overview of some of the departments in the state of Kansas, and I would imagine everyone has a similar type of a department. So we also have the Kansas Department for Children and Families, DCF, and this is the one that takes care of foster children, the foster care system. It is also the department in Kansas that oversees TANF, T as in Tom, A, N as in Nancy, F as in Frank, Temporary Aid for Needy Families. And I learned a lot about this program from my friends in Oregon, where they actually partnered with WIC to educate the TANF staff about how to help WIC families transition back to work through the TANF program, and educated their staff about the break time for nursing moms law. So I just think it's important we look at these different departments outside of our Department of Health and look at what kind of partnerships. They may or may not have funding for you, but if you do have a funding opportunity, it's nice to be able to say you have a relationship with the state department that oversees the program that you would like to work with. Another state department is our Commission for Insurance, Commissioner of Insurance, and we've had several productive meetings with them. We started with their Consumer Complaints Department to find out if moms were complaining about the coverage for pumps and so forth, and they actually helped us to convene a meeting with private insurers to talk about their coverage for pumps. So that is, while it hasn't resulted in funding, it has resulted in some wonderful conversations and very productive meetings. We also have a relationship with the Kansas Department of Education. So we know that this oversees all of our school districts, and we are doing work with our school districts. But I think a little known fact is that the Department of Education also oversees the Child and Adult Care Food Program, CACFP, which is a program for child care providers that are providing food to their children. So it's basically like the school lunch program for child care providers in the child care setting. So those of us that are working with child care providers have to have a relationship with the Department of Education so that we're apprised of the CACFP child care centers, so we can then network with them as well. And then lastly, but not leastly, is our Department of Labor. We have a relationship with them that helps us to connect with all new employers in our state. They receive a letter about the federal law around the Break Time for Nursing Mothers Act. And so we've been able to educate employers about that law and their responsibility for that. So we have a joint letter from KDHE, our Department of Health, as well as the Department of Labor, to all employers. And we learned that lesson from Nebraska. They actually were the one that I know of that did it first, and that gave us the idea to do that as well, to have a joint letter from there. I just wanted to end this section with the state agency gear to show you how our history of income with state agencies is on the rise. But it didn't start until 2013. And I really do believe that it's going to continue to rise. And hopefully a common thread that you heard throughout Rachel and Warren's comments was about relationships. How many times we communicate and communicate and communicate. And sometimes it's a formal meeting, sometimes it's emails, maybe I'm forwarding them something from the USBC Weekly Wire that just says, hey, here's a new thing I thought you might be interested in. So I'm constantly in communication with them. When I'm in the building, I make a point to stop by and say hi and check in with them. I just can't say enough about the opportunity to communicate.